Hey friends, it's been a minute. When we last spoke, we were talking about our CNC business, how we went from zero to $250,000 in our first year, paying off our CNC in the first 20 days. And then we talked about how we're going to move into more Shopify-friendly content, talking about how you can get paid for those products. We were sharing some of our files to help you pay off your own CNCs. But we've been gone for a couple months. We were doing so good posting every week. But then something came up, and we're going to share that now. So as I said, we talked about our first year going from zero to $250,000. We never got to talking about our second year. So same thing happened. We did $250,000 in sales, but we had a big change happen around November 2024. And that was the election of the new US president. So for the first time ever, we started getting emails almost daily. Where are you guys located? And that's something that we never really shared before because we didn't have to. But we knew that was a sign of things to come. So by the end of the year last year, Merina and I sat down and took a look at our business to see what was going to happen and what we should do about it. And we made the decision in January to turn off our ads completely. And so for the first time in our business, we decided to pull everything back and concentrate on a more local market. So Canadians only, no ads, try and get some retail locations and start looking at markets again. Just like what we talked about in the videos, we're going to start all over again, producing completely new products that would be retail friendly. And just like the advice I gave all of you, we started with catch-all trays. We started marketing local designs to see if we can get them into some retail locations and see how easy that would be to expand the business that way. And we've always been transparent, so we were sharing that online. And something really cool happened. We had a company reach out to us and ask if they could help. Now, one of the things we've always steered clear of is smaller, low expensive products. Because we offer free shipping, it just didn't make sense to sell things on our website to ship to the States for things that were less than about $20 to $30. So we knew that if we were going to start hitting markets again, we were going to need some of those lower price items. And that's what RM Laser said they could help us with. Now I should mention, we have a little bit of laser baggage. You see, we bought a Glowforge when they first came out, and that was a nightmare. Being Canadian, it was almost impossible to get their materials to cut on. And we couldn't find any really good local laser supplier for materials as well. Everything it produced was kind of cheap and cheap looking, and we just didn't feel confident running a business around those products. So we scrapped it entirely. Now, luckily at the time, Glowforge had increased in value during COVID. So we ended up selling that machine a couple months after we bought it for more than we paid for. And we decided we were never going to use a laser ever again. But then when we started the CNC business, we wanted to be able to brand all our products. So it forced us to look at lasers one more time. And we decided on an X-Tool F1. It was small. Our friend Handy Dandy Brandy used it to brand all her products, showed us how it worked, and we were hooked. We wanted it. We wanted something that would be reliable and quick to use. Because if you remember, we were producing thousands of products, and we didn't want to spend a ton of time having to brand each one of them. Now, the F1 was great. It can only do like 4" by 4". But the logos that we were branding were like 1.5 inches. And it was really quick. It took like 30 seconds to brand every board. And we loved it. We've used that thing probably 10,000 times. And it's never had a single issue. It's never once had a misfire or like no problems whatsoever. So even though it was kind of pricey, it's definitely paid for itself. So when Casey at RM Laser reached out and said, hey, do you guys want a bigger laser? We really had to think about it. But then he said one thing to me that really stuck out. It can cut through a 1/2 inch of hardwood. Now, if you know anything about me, I have a massive scrap wood collection. Being a CNC operator and not a woodworker, I'm left with all these smaller pieces that I really have no idea what I can do with. And again, on our website, we didn't want to sell cheaper, smaller products. But I knew with a laser cutter, I can cut all that wood in half and use it to create products that I can sell at markets for cheap. So I knew I had a lot of technically free wood sitting around, that if I could come up with a product to mass produce, I'd have almost unlimited free inventory. We haven't done any big collaborations with companies yet, so we almost thought like maybe they're pranking us. But sure enough, it showed up at the house. And it was huge. Like it was a massive machine. It was so big that I had to take this wall out behind me just to get it in the shop. So what they sent was the RM960 Pro 100-watt CO2 laser. It retails for I think $9,500 Canadian. It's got a 35" by 24" bed. Came with an extra CO2 laser tube, so I don't know how long those last, but I know I got a backup for when something happens to it. And a 2-dot laser focus system. Now it also came with a copy of Lightburn. If you're not familiar with Lightburn, it's a super intuitive, easy to use program that will run on our Macs. And our Mac can connect directly to the machine. So this was the first thing that we cut on that machine. It's our logo out of solid walnut, 1/2 inch of walnut. And right away I knew I could make keychains that I could mass produce in a million different designs and test in retail and market locations. So this machine was given to us, which is amazing. And we're super appreciative of that. But just like the CNC, I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to see how long it would take for me to pay off this machine if I was to buy one new, which honestly I would have never done. 2 months ago, Bjorn would have never justified spending $10,000 on a machine that I didn't really see a lot of value in. But now 1 month later, Bjorn is calling that guy an idiot. And after about a week of producing keychains and contacting retail locations, I wanted to see how long it would take me to pay off this machine as if I had bought it myself. And here we are a month later, and I'm happy to announce I failed. I really thought I was going to make it. So far to date, we've made just over $6,000, which honestly is amazing. We've been to 15 different retail locations and approached them. 14 of them said yes, they'll take our products and purchase them, and one said maybe, that I have to go back to. Honestly, I've never had anything be as approachable to people with these products. What we've done is we've customized and created unique keychains for every location that we're going to. So first we go and scout the location, kind of pick up their vibe, and then designed a set of 10 different keychains for that store. Approached them, asked them if something they'd be interested in selling, and it's worked almost every time. But where we failed was the keychain parts. Of course, typical Bjorn Merina fashion, we wanted something that would be high-end, not just a cheap keychain. And we found the perfect one on Amazon. It's a flat split ring keychain. It's got some heft to it, and the chain is like super durable. But the problem was there wasn't very many available. So we bought every single one we could find in both the Canada and US version of Amazon, which was about 1,500. And the company that produced these keychains isn't a real company. It was a shell corporation for a Chinese manufacturer that was selling on Amazon, but it was almost impossible to find any of their contact information directly. So that's what happened. We sold every keychain we had while we were waiting to find a new supplier of those keychain parts, because we didn't want to skimp on the quality. We didn't want to put cheap hardware on our solid walnut hardwood keychains. But luckily, we just found a new supplier. So now we have thousands coming. But it has put a bit of a crimp in our production. So I can make the keychains, I just can't finish them and sell them until all those parts arrive. Now, another thing I've been doing with this business, because I wanted to be very aware of my time. As I said before, we worked 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, and almost killed ourselves fulfilling orders for catch-all trays. So with this business, I wanted to keep a regular schedule. So 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Even though I made more money in the first month with this laser than I did with the CNC, I did it in almost half the time. And only myself, because Merina was working full-time. So I'm very positive of where this is going to go in the future. I had my off hours to fulfill the CNC orders that were still coming in, because that didn't go to zero with ads off. Anyway, that's where we're at. We're a keychain business now. So I'm still hoping to get to all the business side of these things. Hopefully we'll have some good footage showing you all our market setup, some of our retail displays that we've made, because we still want to help you get paid for the products that you're making. But I just wanted to catch up, let you know we're still here. Apologize for stopping the weekly videos. It's really hard when you're grinding away trying to figure out what you're going to do with your life. That's it. Thanks for watching.